Happening today, hundreds of thousands of people are expected all over the world to take part in protesting the United States immigration detention policies. A group called Lights for Liberty is organizing more than 600 demonstrations across 5 continents. It comes just days before ICE officials are expected to conduct immigration raids nationwide. And today, a special hearing to address allegations of mistreatment of immigration at immigration detention centers are underway on Capitol Hill. RT's Rachel Blevins is standing by live with the latest developments on this story. Rachel?
Well, Manila, the House Oversight Committee held a special hearing today to discuss concerns that surround the Trump administration's family separation policy and the current conditions at migrant facilities across the U.S. Now, this hearing included testimony from representatives who have visited those detention facilities at the southern border, as well as officials from the Departments of Homeland Security and Health and Human Services. Now, so far, we know that at least 6 migrant children have died in federal custody since December, but the committee's chairman warned that the conditions at these detention facilities are much worse than what the Trump administration has admitted, and he said there are still migrant children who have not been reunited with their parents. Here's what he had to say.
Hundreds of additional children have been separated from their parents since a court ordered an end to the administration's, quote, zero tolerance, unquote, policy more than a year ago. At least 30 children separated under that policy remain separated today, despite the court's order to reunite them with their families or place them with sponsors.
Now, Democratic representatives have been very critical of Border Patrol and ICE agents for continuing to detain migrants who cross the border, and Republican representatives who were there at the hearing today argued that instead they should be focusing on what solutions they can come up with, which includes increased funding. Take a listen.
It is a crisis. It is real, and we do not get anywhere by blaming the people who are doing their best to help these people. We need to look in the mirror. We need to make the changes. We need to provide the funding necessary to get this done.
Now, last month, President Trump said that ICE would begin deporting millions of people who were in the U.S. illegally, but later he postponed that threat. Now, a new report claims that those raids are scheduled to begin as early as this Sunday. They say that the raids will happen in at least 10 major cities across the U.S. and that ICE agents will be targeting around 2,000 immigrants who have already received deportation orders, some simply because they did not appear in court. Now, the report also warned that the raids will be conducted by Immigration and Customs Enforcement over multiple days and will include collateral deportations in which authorities may detain immigrants who happen to be on the scene even though they were not the original targets. Now, right now, Vice President Mike Pence is traveling to the southern border with a group of Republican senators. They plan to tour those migrant detention facilities that some of the Democratic members of Congress have already toured, and it's likely that they will try to present a counter-argument about the conditions of those facilities. Now, Vice President Pence was also in San Diego on Thursday, where he openly praised the Coast Guard for a submarine containing 39,000 pounds of cocaine, which it seized in the Pacific Ocean. He then referenced that operation on Twitter, where he said, quote, "The drugs that are brought across our border bring billions in healthcare expenses, crime, and loss of thousands of American lives. The challenges and threats the Coast Guard face underscore why the Trump administration is determined to secure the border." Now, right now, pro-immigration activists are working to recruit volunteers to record ICE agents over the weekend in case they do begin conducting raids across the country, and Lights for Liberty vigils and protests are being scheduled in cities across the U.S. and around the world in an attempt to draw attention to the treatment of those migrants who are currently being held in detention facilities. Manila, back to you.
Hey YouTube, thanks for checking out our channel. We hope you enjoyed the video. We have tons of content for you just like this. For more of RT America's one-of-a-kind news and analysis, be sure to subscribe and never stop questioning more.